Good evening and welcome to Public's Eagle. Following the judgment by Justice Jesse Lesit, the family of the late Willy Kimani has welcomed the court's decision, saying that justice has finally been served. Speaking outside the Kimani law courts, they stated that they believe that their loved ones' souls are finally at peace, as well as the family.
Kwanza nimshukuru Mungu kwa ubali ametuleta 6 years, si siku mbili. Na kitu ya pili, nashukuru Judge Lesit pia amekuwa akifanya kazi nyingi sana, amekuwa kwa hii kesi na haijakuwa rahisi. Mahali tumefika, pia tunashukuru IJM fraternity kwa kuwa pamoja nasi na vikundi vyote wenye wametusimamia, wenye wanapigania haki ya extrajudicial killings, pia tunawashukuru sana. Pia media tunawashukuru sababu mmekuwa pamoja nasi hiyo miaka 6 hamjaichoka. Mahali tumefika tuko na leo at least tumepata kuamini Mungu yupo na ukweli umepatikana kulingana na venye jaji ameelezea. At least tumeona vile hiyo story ilianza na mahali imefika na wenye walifanya hiyo kitu, so tuna matarajio kubwa sana na hii kesi ikiisha tutashukuru. By the way, mimi nimesikia at least niko relieved. Mimi nakuanga na tense kila saa, lakini hiyo judgment imeenda leo, at least nimesikia nikiwa relieved. Juu hizo hivyo unasikia hizo roho zao bado hazijarest because they are still waiting for justice. Na kama justice imepatikana leo ama mahali tumefika, at least tunasikia hata sisi tumeanza kuwa relieved. So ningeomba kwa hizo familia tatu tuendelee kuvumilia mpaka mwisho, na at least itakuwa funzo kwa wenye wanapanga kufanya extrajudicial killings. Wajue kwanza kwamba hata kama hakuna mtu ako above the law, hata kama wewe ni askari mkubwa kiasi gani, lazima kama umefanya makosa you are brought to book na yani upatikane na makosa na uhukumiwe kama mwananchi wa kawaida. So I'm very grateful mahali tumefika na Mungu atatuonekania hata hapo mahali imebaki, pia tunatarajia Mungu. Thank you so much. Unajua haikosangi hivyo juu unajua mnakuja mnaambiwa mnarushwa mbele kama 3 months 4 months, mnarudi na machozi mingi mkijiuliza how ilipenda, yani mnakuwa tu hapo katikati. Lakini tumekuwa tuna imani na maombi mingi sana kwa Mungu pia, na hata hiyo spirit mwenye alitoa hiyo ushahidi na akasema hiyo mambo yote hiyo mambo yote ikienda, mimi naona kama Mungu hakuwa anataka watoto wetu wapotelee bure, watoto wetu hiyo damu save many Kenyans. Juu kama wangepotea damu walirushwa wakuliwe na wanyama hawakuliwa, it means that God alikuwa na wao. Mimi ile kitu naamini Mungu alikuwa na wao, na hawa ndio Kenyan saviors, hawa ndio watasave wananchi wenye wanauliwa kiholela. I just transferred last time we were trying to manage having to speak to the case from scratch. Thank God that and also I would like to say that us getting justice today offers a source of comfort to our hearts. Even though it may not not bring my back, but it will put our hearts. And also something when we put it's who are abducted from salvation, will not be there. And even for the remaining journey, we keep even really want to
My name is Benson Shamala. I serve as the country director with the National Justice Mission. And today is a phenomenal day. It's a very significant day because justice has been served in the case of Willy Kimani, Joseph Willy, and Josephat Mwenda. Indeed, we have heard how the murder happened. The judge has been very explicit, even very gory, and very explicit explanation of the torture and the injuries that they sustained. And this is very sad because this was done by people who are supposed to be protecting them, the police. And so we hope that this particular judgment will send a very strong message to any police officer who is involved in criminal activities, that the law will catch up with you, you will be held to account, and you will face the law. Today also, I'm hoping that this particular judgment that will act as a starting point of healing for the family. It has been a long period of time. 6 years is a long period of time. The families that were traumatized, the families that have experienced a lot of anguish and anxiety, it's our hope that this particular judgment and justice that has been served will bring a closure and start on the journey of healing. But I also want to register our appreciation to the various partners that made it possible for justice to happen. To the judiciary, to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, the Law Society of Kenya, various civil society under the Police Reform Working Group, the Witness Protection, to name but a few. We saw a model of how a police abuse case should and need to be investigated. There was collaboration, be it IPOA, be it the DCI, be it the police, they all work together. That's why they brought in a very strong case. We have seen even how technology was used to pin down on the areas where the perpetrators were. So we hope that this will set a standard on how to investigate cases of police killings. So we also want to just appreciate the media, because for 6 years you have kept this case on the toes. Each and every Kenyan knows this particular case because of the media. And we know we have got several other cases that don't go reported. So I also want to add that we bring these particular cases to the fore so that we can light up and see the road that is in our society. Because we deserve to live in a country that is ruled by the law. Thank you and God bless.
Today we issue a statement as a platform of 21 NGOs working on police reform. Today, as we reflect on the judgment, the Police Reforms Working Group demanded that the government of Kenya provide monetary compensation for damages for victims, medical and psychological care, and rehabilitation for any form of physical or mental damage, as well as legal and social rehabilitation. We, as 21 organizations, call upon the government of Kenya to ratify, without any reservations, the International Convention for the Protection of All Persons from Enforced Disappearances, and to investigate and prosecute all cases of enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings. As you are aware, and as you've heard from the judge, our brothers, before they died, they disappeared. They are victims of enforced disappearances. We call upon the Attorney General and Parliament to effectively implement the National Coroner Service 2017 and immediately appoint a Coroner General to oversee its implementation and to criminalize enforced disappearances and ensure that all police killings are swiftly and impartially investigated, and to ensure that any use of lethal force by officers is lawful. Finally, we call on the judiciary to expedite the hearing and conclusion of all matters of extrajudicial executions and enforced disappearances. The Mavoko case demonstrates that there is a glaring absence of justice in the case of enforced disappearances, and without identification of bodies, no cases can be brought to justice. Can be brought to justice, and justice to bear on persons who have been arrested by the police but never booked, or whose bodies still have not been found. As you are aware, we have documented many cases over the years of persons who have disappeared in police custody, never to be found, and some found dead in rivers and forests of this country. The High Court judgment finding 3 police officers and 1 police informer guilty of murder closes the 6-year-old case of the Mavoko 3. 6 years ago, our friend and brother, human rights lawyer Willy Kimani, his client Joseph Wenda, and driver Joseph Mirori were abducted on their way from Mavoko Law Court, where they had attended court. 1 week after their disappearance, their bodies were found dumped in the river. This heinous act sent chills across the country and was widely condemned in the wake of allegations of extrajudicial executions and enforced disappearances by our police service. I dare say our force, not service. Sadly, this case is just one of the many cases of police killings and enforced disappearances reported in Kenya by families across the country. It's become very frequent, and we are very concerned that in many of those cases, nothing is done. And that is why today we say justice now. We say justice now for all victims of police killings and extrajudicial executions. Despite calls for an end to these happenings, the cases continue to rise. Police killings are assumed by the police service to be a lawful use of force without any investigation to ensure that. Missing Voices and the Police Reforms Working Group have documented 145 cases of killings in 2019, 158 cases of police killings, and 10 cases of disappearances in 2020, and 187 killings of persons, and 32 disappearances in 2021. IPOA has recorded that they have received 123 cases